This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Tristan Hildebrand coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Monday, October 27th. A wave of anti-China protests sweeps Seoul ahead of Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit, prompting Taiwanese tourists to wear nationality badges. President Lai Ching-te reaffirmed Taiwan's support for the LGBTQ+ community ahead of its 23rd annual Taiwan Pride Parade, and a bridge in Hamburg, Germany is named after a Taiwanese city. But first, today's top story. A wave of anti-China protests sweeps Seoul ahead of Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit, prompting Taiwanese tourists to wear nationality badges to avoid being affected. Xi and other world leaders will be in South Korea for the 32nd APEC Economic Leaders Meeting in Gyeongju from October 31st to November 1st. Taiwanese tour guide Lin Yongping estimates that about 1 in 20 people in his groups wears a badge or other sign, saying that if they are mistaken for being Chinese and harassed, they can show their nationality. Lin also advises that Taiwanese tourists avoid speaking Chinese near anti-China protests. Ahead of this event, the South Korean government and law enforcement authorities are working to curb anti-China protests, which have become a sensitive subject for South Korean President Lee Jae-myung. According to local media, Lee condemned the anti-China protests, calling them self-destructive acts that harm the nation's interests and image. His Democratic Party introduced a bill in the National Assembly recently to ban gatherings that incite hatred or discrimination, but it faces opposition from conservative factions who fear the bill will be used to stifle dissenting views. The Chinese embassy in Seoul warned Chinese tourists to exercise extreme caution when traveling to South Korea this month due to the demonstrations, but also stressed that most South Koreans welcome the Chinese tourists. President Lai Ching-te reaffirmed Taiwan's support for the LGBTQ+ community ahead of its 23rd annual Taiwan Pride Parade and promised the government will work to make Taiwan a more inclusive and understanding country. In a Facebook post on the eve of the parade, Lai said this year's theme of Beyond Links, More Than Clicks reminds people that in an era of rapid information flow, true connection means being willing to listen and understand others' stories. Over the years, Taiwan's awareness of gender diversity has evolved from visibility to understanding, Lai said, adding that equality should not only be written in law but also be reflected in everyday life as a shared social value. The president acknowledged that while legal progress has been made, prejudice still exists, and many people continue to feel unseen or misunderstood. He urged the public to support friends, classmates, co-workers, and family members both online and offline, as he underscored how every identity, temperament, body, and way of life deserves respect and kindness. Lai wished all parade participants the freedom and pride to walk on a road of liberty and respect, vowing that his administration will keep striving for a more inclusive and understanding society. A pedestrian bridge in Hamburg, Germany has been officially named Kaohsiung Bridge, marking the first time a transportation landmark in Germany has been named after a Taiwanese city. The bridge, previously designated F566, is located near the Hamburg port. On October 14th, city officials unveiled its new name, Kaohsiung-Brücke, to commemorate the sister port relationship between Hamburg and Taiwan's southern port city of Kaohsiung, established in 1999. The name was proposed by Free Democratic Party District Councillor Timo Fischer, who said that while it has been jointly supported by members of the Social Democratic Party and Christian Democratic Union, it did meet resistance from far-right parties. Fischer told CNA that while the two port cities have maintained ties for more than 25 years, most Hamburg residents are unaware of the relationship. He explained that in an era when democratic values are under threat globally, symbolic and friendly gestures such as this help strengthen ties with nations that share similar democratic principles, like Taiwan. Hamburg, which boasts more than 2,500 bridges, is often called the City of Bridges. Fischer says they symbolize connection and trust across waters and differences, adding that even a small bridge, like the Kaohsiung Bridge, can help bring Germany and Taiwan closer together. He said he hopes that when residents cross the bridge, it will spark curiosity and inspire them to learn more about Taiwan. The recent African swine fever scare has impacted pork sales all around Taiwan, but veterinarians and government officials assure the public that Taiwanese pork dishes are delicious and safe to eat.
A pig farm in Taichung City recently tested positive for African swine fever, triggering a wave of public concern over food safety. Central African Swine Fever Forward Response Center Commander and Deputy Agriculture Minister Tu Wenzhen states that recent monitoring and visits indicate no other outbreaks in Taiwan. She assures the public that the disease is not zoonotic and there are no known food safety issues. Among the many pork recipes in Taiwan, braised pork rice, or lu rou fan, attracts countless foreign tourists in addition to being a loved local favorite. The quality of Taiwanese pork is crucial to the country's pride. Taipei Veterinary Medical Association Vice President Yang Jingyu details that farmers have blended Yorkshire, Duroc, and other breeds with traditional Taiwanese pigs to achieve the pork everyone loves today. Yang says that Taiwanese pork boasts excellent quality, both domestically and internationally. Agricultural technology has significantly contributed to the popularity of Taiwanese pork and the safety of its production, so make sure you pig out on a pork dish for your next meal. Michelle Chang for RTI News.
2 ministers from Belize arrived in Taiwan on Sunday for a 5-day visit aimed at strengthening bilateral ties and promoting cooperation in the electric vehicle and renewable energy sectors, according to Taiwan's foreign ministry. Louis Zabana, Belize's Minister of Constitutional and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Peoples Affairs, and Transportation, and Michael Shabat, Minister of Public Utilities, Energy, Logistics, and E-Governance, will meet with Foreign Minister Lin Jialong during their stay from Sunday to Thursday. In addition to visits with representatives from Taiwan's electric vehicle industry, the pair are scheduled to meet with officials from the Transportation Ministry, Environmental Ministry, and the Taipei City Traffic Information Center. They will also attend the Energy Taiwan and Net Zero Taiwan Expo. The Foreign Ministry noted that this is the first visit to Taiwan by Zabane and Shabat since taking office. The ministry underscored the strong and long-standing friendship between Taiwan and Belize, citing cooperation in public health, transportation, education, environmental protection, and women's empowerment. Under the Taiwan Ally Prosperity Project, the two countries plan to further deepen bilateral exchanges in the years ahead. The Formosa Club in Europe held its second annual meeting this Monday in Taipei with about 45 parliamentarians from 18 European countries in attendance. The transnational parliamentary platform was jointly initiated by the European Parliament's Taiwan Friendship Group and the parliamentary groups of Germany, France, and the United Kingdom. Established in 2019, it aims to consolidate and unite forces to promote Taiwan's meaningful participation in international organizations and deepen cooperation between Taiwan and Europe. Since 2019, the club has advocated for Taiwan's participation in UN agencies such as the WHO and voiced support when China pressures Taiwan's diplomatic space. The Foreign Ministry credits the support from parliamentary groups like the Formosa Club in Europe with encouraging other European parliaments to publicly support Taiwan, such as passing resolutions countering China's interpretation of UN Resolution 2758 and reaffirming their own support for Taiwan's international participation. In 2022, the club issued a joint statement pledging to support a free and democratic Taiwan through visits with active parliamentarians. The Foreign Ministry says that the activism of the Formosa Club in Europe has inspired the establishment of other transnational parliamentary platforms, including those in Latin America, Africa, West Asia, the Indo-Pacific region, and the Caribbean. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Xiao Guangwei credits these as being instrumental to Taiwan's diplomatic partnerships. Xiao said,
"Like-minded partners have long supported Taiwan's international participation with concrete actions. In the future, Taiwan will continue to deepen its partnership with the European Parliament and other national parliaments."
The 27th Conference of Asian Federation on Intellectual Disabilities is taking place this Sunday through Friday in Taipei. Vice President Xiao Bi-Kim shared her hope for a future where no one is left behind. Xiao said,
"I also hope that the AFID conference will serve not only as a professional exchange, but also as a heartfelt dialogue, a conversation of empathy and understanding. Through our shared stories, may we find strength and hope through our cross-border cooperation. And may we realize the vision of a world where no one is left behind."
Thank you for joining me for the news. I'm Tristan Hildebrand. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.